What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back to Basketball Wives Season 9, Episode 1. Now listen, I told y'all I didn't know if I was gonna review it. We're gonna take it one day at a time, and we're gonna take it there, okay? So this first episode was basically the footage that they had filmed before Corona shut them down. So a lot of this stuff is, you know, January, February of last year type stuff. We start this episode off with sort of the year in review. They talk about all the things that happened in 2020. Child, I lived it. I don't need to go through it again. Okay. Um, the first scene we see is Phoebe meeting up with Evelyn at her house. Evelyn's talking about wanting to move to another house because of her safety issues. Phoebe is talking about um, she's dating this new guy, former football player for the Baltimore Ravens. I wrote his name down, Damian Barry. She said, "Hey, we used to date, but then he cheated on me, and so I started date. It didn't work out. We've sort of found reconnected, but I'm scared. I'm nervous. He cheated on me once. He could cheat on me again. I'm scared to sort of let my guard down. Real nervous about it." And then Evelyn started again talking about her wanting to move into a gated community. She was worried about her safety, and she gets into the whole story about what happened with her doing the monkey emoji and the colorism thing from last season, her and OG. And she talks about why she chose to sue OG. She said that, OG lied on her. She said that she's not a racist and that basically, it was affecting her brand, so to speak. So she had to protect herself, okay? I'm not arguing about whether it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? Okay. Then we see Shawnee. She's with, is it Sharif? He's getting a Kobe tattoo, and she's talking about the fact that her kids knew Kobe, they grew up, and how, his death really affected them. She also talking about the fact that Sharif and her daughter are both going to LSU. The other son, his name starts with an S too, so maybe it is Sharif, but the other son, the one that had the heart problem, he's actually living with Shaq now in Atlanta. I guess he's going to go to school out there or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's still recovering. I'm not sure. Um, but she's actually going to move to Houston. I guess that's where she's from, where her family is. She's like, I don't really have any reason to be in LA anymore. I don't have any babies anymore. My kids are gone. And, I want to be closer to my family. And so she's actually going to move to Houston, which I found to be very interesting with the show and everything. I mean, were you going to do like a Malaysia and just fly back when it was time to film or something? Oh, yes. So there was that. Then we have a scene with Jackie and OG. And Jackie is trying to talk to OG about what happened. And she's like, Jackie is like asking her the questions. Do you really feel like it was colorism, or do you feel like it was just you and Evelyn just didn't click? And she was like, no, it was colorism. This is exactly what it was. And she was a racist, and she did this and she did that. And Jackie was like, Jackie was trying to play the peacemaker, play the middle. Like, are you really sure that that's what happened? Like, And she was like, no, that was my experience. That's what happened. And then they talked about the lawsuit or whatever. And she was like, at this point, I can't even sit down and talk to Evelyn because, Jackie was trying to, see if she would be open to sitting down and talking to Jackie. And she was like, well, at this point, even if I wanted to talk to Jackie, Evelyn, I couldn't. It's legal now. She's suing me and I have a right to protect myself. And then in her confessional, she said, I'm sure exactly what her lawyer told her to say, that she believed those things to be true and she had every right to post it on her social media if she believed it to be a true statement. Because the thing about defamation is that you have to prove the intent. You have to prove that OG said those things knowing that they were a lie. And if she says, hey, this is what I believe that she's a racist and I have every right to say it, kind of hard to prove intent, We find out that OG is actually in the process of building a house with Kwame. She still don't have no ring. She said, we still boyfriend and girlfriend, but the ring is coming. Girl, how you building a dream house with somebody with no dream? You don't have no ring. You don't have no engagement. So this is season 3, and you and Kwame right back where y'all started. Y'all ain't made no progress. You've been pressuring this man to have a baby. You've been pressuring this man to get married. The best you got is we're going to get a house together. Girl. No. No, we don't do that. Anyway, um, Jackie's thing is, listen, we're a sisterhood. I just really wish that we could come together and maybe fix it, find a way to work together or whatever. But OG ain't here for it, and it is what it is. Jackie's son Dougie is in college, but he still ain't driving. They drop him off and pick him up from school every day. What? Okay, if he don't want to get his driver's license, that is his business. But why y'all picking him up and dropping him off every day though? He is a grown up. If he don't get his ass in an Uber and get the hell where he need to go, child. Anyway, Jackie meets up with Shawnee because Shawnee said that she already told Evelyn about her plans to move, but the person she's worried about is Jackie because Jackie tend to be real extra when it comes to stuff like that. She told Jackie, and Jackie was actually fine with it. She said, "Girl, you don't have no babies no more. I definitely understand. But let me throw you a going away party. Before you leave, let me bring all the ladies together. Not sure who all gonna come, but I'm gonna invite everybody and let's do a little celebration." Then we have Evelyn, Phoebe, and Malaysia. Now Evelyn is bringing them together to try. She wants to talk to Phoebe, well, under the guise of teaching Phoebe how to cook, child, because Phoebe can't cook. Under the guise of bringing them together to teach her how to cook, they're going to talk to her about how to maneuver a relationship with a man that plays ball. Don't neither one of y'all have a successful one. So what you going to teach her? How to get divorced? You done dated all three leagues, Evelyn. The NBA, the NFL, the MLB. The only thing you missing is the NHL. The hell? What are you gonna teach Phoebe? Malaysia? What you gonna teach Phoebe? Anyway, they go through this whole cooking demonstration with Phoebe trying to, cook whatever it was she was trying to cook, child. Some tuna steak. Poor thing said, is it going to taste like regular steak? No, it's not going to taste like regular steak. You want to know why? Because it ain't. Because it's tuna. It's not beef. So it's not going to taste like beef. Because it's tuna. Then they had a conversation with her, basically telling her, "Girl, let your guard down, enjoy the moment. Give that man a chance. Y'all starting off fresh, then you gotta treat it like it's a fresh situation. You can't carry the baggage. You gotta let the baggage go. If you ain't ready to let the baggage go, then you ain't ready to be in no relationship with this man." And I agree, that's good advice. Now I thought you said you was gonna teach her how to maneuver being in a relationship with a ball player, because y'all haven't done that. Like, if you want to do that, talk to Tamia. Tamia been in a relationship with a ball player for 30 years. Talk to Tamia. She can tell you some things. Hell, Gabrielle Union can tell you some things at this point. Uh, 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 LeBron James' wife, Savannah. There are people who could probably give you some advice, Phoebe. But those two women, it ain't them. It ain't them. Anyway, in walks our new housewife. Our new basketball wife. We have Liza, who is Lamar Odom's baby mama. Were they married? Is it an ex-wife situation? Either way, we know that that's the mother of his children, and she's actually moving to LA. So Shawnee wants to introduce her to the ladies before she leaves, because of course she's getting ready to leave and go to Houston. And she gives us her story. She said, "Listen, it's been hard raising my children because because Lamar's." She didn't say my ex-husband. I don't think. I think she just called him Lamar. So I'm not sure, child. Lamar's business is out there in the streets and it's so public. We do the best we can. It would be a lot easier if he wouldn't be out here, pulling the stunts that he be pulling. But either way, her children are older, and so she wants to move to LA, and you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And so that's just their little way of introducing her. They're talking about the going away situation and that, Jackie wants to throw a little going away party type of thing. OG is out shopping for a mattress with Kwame, and they get to talking about how Jackie wants to try to set up a conversation between OG and Shawnee so that they can sort of clear the air and figure it out and come to some sort of common ground. OG was like, I really don't have any beef with Evelyn. I mean, with Shawnee, but I do want to, express to her how I felt and for us to be on the same page and maybe clear the air or at least come to some sort of common ground. Kwame agrees, but he was like, if we're gonna have a conversation, though, it needs to be an honest conversation, right? Um, yeah, that's it. That's all. Now, Shawnee's thing is she definitely wants to sit down with OG. She said, I'm never going to tell somebody what their experience is. Like, I can't tell you that you didn't experience racism or colorism. I can't tell you that was your experience because I don't know. I'm on the outside looking in. But I would like to talk to her and really understand her perspective and her point of view. We may not walk away agreeing, but at least we can find some common ground. So I think her and OG both have the right intent of walking into a conversation. I think their intention is right, on the front end. It's just going to be a matter of what comes back on the back end, so to speak, of it. Evelyn, Liza, and Malaysia. Now, Evelyn done got baptized, y'all. She talking about she just living better. Her life is better. She's doing more community service. So we see them pulling this community service situation. The coronavirus is getting closer and closer. We're seeing them using precautions, wearing gloves, and things of that. And they're actually starting to talk about how nervous they are because the virus is getting closer. So Evelyn talks to Malaysia about her and Jackie. Would you be willing to sit down with Jackie? When would you be willing to sit down with Jackie? Are you willing to clear the air? And Malaysia's thing was, what? All I needed Jackie to do was just to admit that she was talking shit. Like, just say, girl, I was gossiping about you. And I would have been like, okay, girl. And we could have just moved on. Like, life would have been what it was. But you couldn't even admit that you were doing it. You couldn't even admit that you were gossiping about me. And so, like, there's no place I don't know where we start. Now, Malaysia did admit that she got love for Jackie. She was like, I love Jackie like that crazy aunt. She your family member. She gonna always be family. She a little special. But she gonna always be family type of thing. And Evelyn was like, well, would you be just willing to sit down? And Malaysia was like, let me think on it. She said, girl, I gotta pray about that thing. I need to pray on it. Okay. Phoebe is on a date with her boo. He lives in Miami, so she said this has been the long distance thing has been hard. They get to talking, and she tells him point blank, listen, I'm a little scared about this situation. I'm a little nervous because you cheated on me the last time. And so, I'm putting myself out there, and I'm just not sure. And he said, well, you were still dealing with your baby daddy. And she was like, I was not. Like, what are you talking about? And so he was like, well, that's how I felt. I felt like you was still messing around with your baby daddy, so I was doing my thing. And so, she was like, well, this is the first I'm hearing of this, and so it's giving me sort of a different perspective now. Like, you thought I was cheating on you, and so now you decided to cheat on me. See, that's where communication is an issue. Like, first of all, if you think that I'm cheating on you, so you decide to date somebody else, either we're going to communicate and we're going to figure it out, or we're going to move on. I'm not playing. What's the purpose of me being in a relationship with you if I think you're cheating on me? I'm not going to go out and just cheat on you. I'm going to break up with you and date who I would have dated anyway. That don't make no sense to me. But at least I'm glad that they were able to kind of talk about it and clear the air. And she said that, she's open to seeing what happens, open to what happens next, and opening herself up to the possibilities of this relationship, Last but not least, child, we have Malaysia, Evelyn meeting down for a little bit of lunch, a little dinner, maybe some cocktails, whatever it is they were doing. And Evelyn done bum rushed and ambushed Malaysia. She done invited Jackie without even telling Malaysia was talking about her, how she missed her kids and everything, and with everything going on with the virus, letting her know that life is short. And Evelyn was like, well, since you mentioned it, life is short. So, and in walks Jackie. Now let me say this, Malaysia. Jackie walks in like, hey girl, hey. I'm sure that Jackie was feeling uncomfortable. The tension was really high. Malaysia immediately starts ignoring her. And then Malaysia was like, she gets up to leave. She said, yeah, I'm leaving. She said, Evelyn, just because I said I might be okay at one point did not mean I was open to talking to Jackie right now. And I feel like, of course that was disrespectful on Evelyn's part to do that to Malaysia. But Malaysia, she was like, and Jackie walked in here with an old stank attitude and this, and this. I don't think she had a stank attitude. I think she walked in like you would walk in somewhere where you don't know what you're walking into. Like, I don't know what I'm walking into. Like, Malaysia, man, you left off on bad terms. We ain't really been speaking. I got invited to this little situation. Evelyn probably told her, hey, girl, she wants to talk to you. And so Jackie walked in like, I feel like she was trying to get through the small talk so they could get to the big stuff. I don't feel like she walked in there with an attitude. Now, Malaysia says she should have walked in with her tail tucked between her legs. Well, maybe. But I don't think she had an attitude, though. I think she walked in nervous and ready to talk. But y'all never really got to that point. Y'all never really got there. Anyway, that's what it is, y'all. The party that Jackie was planning for Shawnee ends up getting canceled because of Corona. All of her vendors end up canceling on her. And finally, Shawnee called and said, girl, I'm getting out of LA. Like, this is getting serious. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. And I need to get with my family. If I'm going to be quarantined, I need to be quarantined with my family. So, sorry, we're going to have to do this party another time. I'm going to have to talk to OG another time. This shit's real, And so that's kind of what it is. So, I guess we're going to pick up with all of them deciding to go rent this mansion. And they're going to all be hanging out in the mansion. Okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.